Have you noticed that there's a certain amount of excitement in the air? Parents are rushing around, stores are running out of things like notebooks and lunch boxes, teenagers are in the stores buying things like refrigerators and computers, and adults are starting to rethink their careers. All of this excitement can only mean one thing. It's time for back to school. I'm Wanda McKnight, and this is the McKnight Report. Join us as we explore the question on everyone's mind. What does back to school mean to you? I'm Wanda McKnight, and we are back with the McKnight Report. For us, this is a time of fresh starts and new beginnings because we've made the jump from being an internet-only show to being a show that's seen on a public television station near you. Luckily for us, we're not the only ones getting a fresh start. This is back to school, and there's a certain amount of excitement in the air. But here at the McKnight Report, we don't just think about it, we want to talk about it. So we went to the Prince George's County Back to School Fair, where we spoke with students, parents, teachers, and administrators to see what they were doing to get ready for back to school. Then we went to see Prince George's County Teacher of the Year, Sherelle Stagg. And finally, we went to see image consultant and personal branding expert Marva Goldsmith to learn how branding principles can be applied to back to school. So, the only thing that remains is the question on everyone's mind. What does back to school mean to you?
You get to see all your friends again, and you can have recess again and talk to each other, find out what they did over the summer.
Sounds great. What does back to school mean to you?
I have to do more work, and I meet my friends, and I do recess.
Actually, back to school means to me is it's time to get our children back energized and parents back interested in the educational process for our children. The summer's over with, lazy days are over with, our children have had an opportunity to rest and also giving our teachers an opportunity to rejuvenate themselves for the new year.
Back to school, it means to me like since during the summer you do what you gotta do, have fun with your friends, but I think it's back on track, getting back to what you need to do, to support yourself and your education. So all that little fun stuff is over with, back to school, keep your head on right and back on track.
Back to school means new beginnings. Back to school means energy and excitement and rebirth. And kids who perhaps did not do as well as they would have liked to last year get a chance to start all over. And that's what we're telling them, that you come in and the mistakes that you made last year, they kind of go away. You commit to being successful right now. And with this new beginning, you have a chance to rewriting your own history. So we're excited about back to school because it means that everybody has an opportunity to start over and be extremely successful.
Back to school means different things to different people, but everyone agrees that it means a fresh start. We went to the Prince George's County Back to School Fair to see what parents, students, teachers, principals, and even the PTA were doing to get ready for back to school. But the first thing we probably need to talk about is what happens over the summer. When school is out and it's a long way between June and August, it makes parents see the job of the teachers in an entirely different light. At the end of the summer, Dan Krieger, a parent of 3 Prince George's County students, has a lot of respect for the job that teachers do.
Well, it really puts what the teachers do in perspective because we really appreciate all the hard work that they do in getting the kids ready to learn and learning. And when they come to us and they expect us to do the same role, it's tiring, but we really appreciate what the teachers are doing for us and looking forward to getting them back in school.
Patricia Wells and Martha Boris, principal and vice principal of Panorama Elementary School, admit that the long summer vacation can be a bit of a mixed bag.
So it makes it a little hard when they return back because they have forgotten some of those things that have been taught throughout the school year. So we begin enforcing, reviewing, and going over some of those things that they may have lost.
And also the children are excited to come back because they love Panorama Elementary School. And when we have excitement as they walk in the building, the bulletin boards have writing prompts, have instructional pieces. Our showcases are very bright. It's very welcoming for our parents because our parents are the main core. If we can reach our parents, then we can extend the education through the children too.
Gorman Brown, principal of Charles Herbert Flowers High School, is quite candid about what can happen over the summer.
Well, of course, there's a bit of a slide after a 2.5-month disconnection. The most important thing that we do is to try to reacquaint students with our rituals and routines of school. So study skills, bringing the proper materials, making sure that you're taking good notes, reviewing what you should have remembered from last year so that you can have a solid foundation in order to be successful this school year. So that's kind of the focus of teachers over the first 2 weeks of school, is to ensure that we bridge that gap so that we can start accelerating learning after we've gone through that initial induction period.
At the Patriots Technology Training Center, they sure don't believe in letting the summer, the weekends, or any time after school go to waste. Their motto is empowering students through technology, and that's been their mission for the past 15 years. The Patriots Technology Training Center is a nonprofit organization based in Steep Pleasant, Maryland.
Good morning.
How you doing?
What is your name, sir?
Norman Jones.
And Mr. Jones, what is your program?
My program is the Patriots Technology Training Center.
Tell me about that.
And what we do, we get the students involved with science, technology, engineering, and math.
Wow.
And there's like cybersecurity, competition, Legos, robotics, video gaming, and also computer building.
Okay.
The Patriots Technology Training Center takes students from grades 5 through 12 and encourages them to embrace technology by training them to participate in competitions for robotics, math, science, and even motorized Lego building bricks. They were participating in the Back to School Fair, but they're also having their own Back to School kickoff on September 15th, 2012 at the Kettering Middle School in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Caleb Newman and Asia Dubose, two students who just completed their first summer in the program, had a great summer experience.
How do you feel about the program?
It was fun.
What did you do?
We did flight simulations and we worked on different projects. And then we had interesting and fun field trips.
And how do you like it?
I like it very much
Why do you like it so?
because they have a biomedical competition and I would like to be a pediatrician.
Oh my goodness. And so you feel like you're learning a lot that you would need to know to be a pediatrician?
Yes.
So how long have you been in the program?
This is my first year, just like Caleb.
We'll be right back with more of the McKnight Report. Stay tuned. The extracurricular activities are great, but how do you motivate students? The educators say that they focus on different things at different points in a student's school career. In elementary school, Ms. Wells and Mrs. Boris, the principal and assistant principal of Panorama Elementary School in Temple Hills, Maryland, find ways to make learning fun.
We motivate our children through PBIS, Positive Behavior Intervention System, and we also have a Character Ed Award that we are the only school in the Prince George's County from Florida that has won this Character Ed. You have to motivate children before they learn.
Yes, motivating our students. It's a very good school-wide program that we've implemented to where it encourages our students to read. And each year, our students, they choose their favorite character, they dress up as that character, and we also tie it into writing. They write an essay about their favorite book that they've read.
Ms. Marquita Kennedy, Parent and Community Engagement Specialist at Oxon Hill Middle School, is well aware of the particular challenges in dealing with middle school students. However, at her school, they figured out ways to engage them.
Well, middle school, it's like they are still trying to find themselves. They don't know if they still want to be the elementary school students where they're just still learning the education and curriculum, or do they want to just be those high school students? So they're caught in the middle. So middle school is one of the most challenging areas in the county and any school district because of them being in the middle. So what we've done at Oxon Hill Middle School is we provided opportunities for students to actually declare a major and go into a particular career. And so we're We're using the AVID program, which is Advancement via Individual Determination. We're also using College Ed. So we've provided students with bigfuture.org, which is a website, so they can expose themselves to various things in college and actually set up a college plan. So they have things in there where you can start from 8th grade and lower, or 9th grade, 10th grade and above. Other things that we've done to help the students in the middle schools is having those mentoring programs. We have the Rites of Passage program, which is a young men's mentoring program, and then we have Dare to Dream ladies mentoring program. And DREAM stands for Divas Respecting Everyone and Always Motivated.
As a result of her job as the Parent and Community Engagement Specialist, Ms. Kennedy has also noticed something about some of the parents of some of the middle school students.
And what happens after elementary school, a lot of times, parents they sort of get a little bit lax in I'll say the full structure of staying on top of their middle school students, because they feel like they're teenagers, they can handle it. You know, if I get a phone call, that's when I'm gonna show up to school. But we try to tell them, as a parent engagement specialist and the other programs that we have in the school, that we need you to come no matter what. We have an open door policy, and we make sure they understand that we want you to come to school. We want you to volunteer. We want to see your face. We don't want to just have to call you for anything bad, because we call for positive as well.
Gorman Brown, principal of Charles Herbert Flowers High School in Springdale, Maryland, states that in high school, it's important to get the students to understand the relationship between what they do now and achieving their ultimate goals.
Well, that's what we're really trying to focus on, creating relevant learning experiences for students and actually partnering them with opportunities that allow them to actually start practicing that craft as early as 9th and 10th grade. So yes, a lot of them don't, especially when they get to high school, but by the time we hit 10th and 11th grade, we're really hoping to have everybody on a career and college track so that they understand what they're doing every day is important for their future.
Now, suppose I haven't been doing too well in school and I've been a little, my mind's been wandering, haven't been focused.
Sure.
Is it too late for me by the time I'm in the 10th or 11th grade?
It's never too late. It's never too late. We need to, first of all, find out what's going on with you. And so we can provide you with differentiated supports to ensure that you have opportunities to be successful as well.
And do you do that though?
We do that in high school, but we also have partnerships outside of CH Flowers that allow us to connect some of our at-risk youth with some of the other programs that can provide them with supports.
Okay. Now the last thing is this. Sure. What do you need from the parents?
I need them to be active. I need them to be supportive. I need them to be an active part of their young people's lives. And most importantly is that when they get to high school, a lot of parents say, well, they're young adults now. They understand what they need to do. No, they don't. No, they don't. So 9th grade and 10th grade parents in particular, we really need them to be a part of partnering with teachers, in constant communication with teachers, volunteering and bringing whatever their talents and gifts are to the schoolhouse, so that we can really become a village and help to raise every child in the building, in our village. So really need that. 11th, 12th grade parents really need you guys to focus on getting these kids in college and exploring some of the scholarship opportunities that exist. Our children really, there's been challenges in regards to accessing some of the scholarship opportunities. We leave billions of dollars of scholarship dollars on the table every year. And we just need to ensure that our parents know how they can access these funds, so that the whole switch to having to pay for education after 12th grade isn't as daunting as they think it may be.
But the traditional school model is not for everyone. There are a variety of reasons that the high school model may not work out for some students, and the reasons are as varied as the students themselves. It's good to know that for those students, there is another alternative.
Job Corps.
Job Corps is a vocational training program and also educational training program for youth ages 16 to 24. And what we do is we help students who have not earned their GED or high school diploma. We help them earn their high school diploma and also get hands-on vocational skills training.
Okay, so now when I hear the words Job Corps, I'm thinking about somebody getting a job, but is it a back-to-school option as well?
Yes, it is a back-to-school option. Some students, don't have the focus that is required for regular high school. And one thing that Job Corps offers them is an opportunity to earn their high school diploma or GED, but they get to work at their own pace. You have some schools where if everybody's on page 52, then all students are on page 52. But at Job Corps, you may have students that are on page 52, some may be on page 92, and so they're able to work at their own pace and still earn their high school diploma or GED.
Now, does it offer living options as well?
Yes, Job Corps is a residential program, and we do also have a solo parenting program for our students who may have had a child or had children between the ages of 1 and 6, and we have an option where they have they're able to take their children to live on campus with them.
I see. So is Job Corps an option for students who may have had some issues in their family?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. We work with the foster care system. We work with social services, students who may have living arrangement issues. Job Corps is a residential program, so they are able to live on campus. And we also think that it works well because they're able to live on campus and the classes are a hop, skip, and a jump away. Instead of having to get on a bus or get on, a train in order to get the bus, Job Corps is right across the street.
And so is Job Corps a viable option for students who may have already dropped out?
Oh, definitely. The only thing is you cannot have any felony convictions, can't be on probation. We want you to make sure that you take care of those obligations first, but anything else, Job Corps is there for you. I've been with Job Corps for 10 years and we have so many success stories. I could not tell them all. We service about 70,000 students annually, so we are in the business of making sure that students get their education, get their vocational training, and they're ready for the world of work.
If someone wanted to go to Job Corps, what do they need to do?
You would contact an admissions counselor. You can call the 1-800 Job Corps number, and they'll help give you the information for an admissions counselor in your area.
Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more of the McKnight Report. Stay tuned. Mom Judy Woodall and daughter Dominique are both excited because Dominique is getting ready to head off to college. Dominique is going to a small college that is 6 hours away. The longest amount of time she's ever stayed away from home previously has been 1 week. So this will be a new experience for both mother and daughter. Dominique's college offered her the opportunity to do something a little different to get ready for school.
Well, I went down for a 2-week program. It's called the Focus Program. And we went to school like we were actually in college. We stayed in the dorm room. We ate at the cafeteria. We took 3 classes. And I'm going in with 3 extra credits. So that was very helpful.
What did you think about that little trial run?
It was difficult. Other than people aren't going to remind you to do it over and over again.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about that?
Well, it was fine. I wrote down my classes and reminded myself to do it, so I was fine.
Okay. But if you hadn't reminded yourself to do it, was Mom calling you every 5 minutes saying, don't forget to do your work?
No.
And Mom, how do you feel about that?
I'm excited. I think this is a good opportunity. I think all young people should experience being, away from home. If they don't like it, they can always come back in most cases.
Right, in most cases.
In most cases. But I think that, it's sort of a part of growing up, being independent and, having to fend for yourself, meeting new people. And I just think that it's a positive thing. And there's some you feel a little, it's like, is she going to get up, is she going to do the work? But the boot camp helped because they were exposed, they met people, and then they were able to form study groups.
Oh.
And so they kind of encouraged each other to get up, to get the work done, because they kind of didn't want to look bad for their partners. So, fellowship is always a good thing.
When we return, we'll talk with 2 experts in the field of back to school. Prince George's County Teacher of the Year, Sherelle Stagg, and image consultant and personal branding coach, Marva Goldsmith. Stay tuned. Sherelle Stagg is the Prince George's County Teacher of the Year. This is quite an exciting honor because she represents Prince George's County as its most outstanding educator. Ms. Stagg is a special education teacher at Valley View Elementary School in Oxon Hill, Maryland. She explains why she gives so much care, time, and attention to her students at this important formative stage.
I think that through good teaching and honest, open communication, elementary students can understand that right at this level, they are setting the foundation for their life and their career goals. We really are working closely with making sure that students see that we're not just learning this just to take a test or to complete an assignment, but really helping them make the connections about how they use it in their everyday life. At the elementary level, in my opinion, it's really about making sure that students are excited about learning. We don't want them to, in the beginning of their school careers, feel defeated or frustrated with the schooling process. So we really want to build that excitement and enthusiasm about learning, and then just really helping them to see that it all does connect to their future goals and just life in general.
Can you give me a little example of how you would do that?
Sure. So for our students who are particularly in grades 4, 5, and 6, we work with them at the beginning of the school year and we talk about their hobbies, their interests, and then we help them identify 1 or 2 personal goals that they want to meet for the school year. So it could be something about organization. Maybe they know that there's a particular subject that they really need some additional practice in. And so this is something that happens outside of the classroom, but it allows the student to be reflective about where they are and what we need to work on for the year.
Ms. Stagg thinks that it's very important that we all get rid of any misconceptions about what special education means and that we understand how it benefits students.
Special education now is really nothing like what we're used to or what we thought it was when we were in school or what we see on the movies. A lot of people think that they're off to the side in the hallway down at the end of the building. They never interact with everyone else, and that is so far from the truth. Our students are, for the most part, fully integrated with their non-disabled peers. They are receiving the instruction that they need, but they're not separated or made to feel different. And in the elementary level especially, we work really hard to make sure that the students who are not disabled are open and accepting of differences, because we don't want our students to shut down and not be open to the help and assistance.
In terms of being focused and grounded, now elementary students don't drop out, but sometimes they do become a little, I guess, disengaged or distracted,
Yes,
or
that's
they
true.
kind of check out in their minds. Have you seen that happen, and what causes that?
In my experience, I have seen students who reach a certain point and they do feel a little disengaged with the education process. I think there can be a lot of causes. When you think about the special education population, some of these students for several years may not have felt very successful or confident in their own learning. And so after a while, they kind of develop their own lower self-esteem about their ability levels. But when we come in, we really try to work with them to figure out, how do you best learn? What do you need in order to be successful? Because all of our students are capable of achieving at higher levels. We just have to be willing to make sure they have everything that they need in order to do that.
And do you find yourself working with the parents in order to make sure that that happens?
We do. We work very closely with parents, phone calls, emails. We have a lot of meetings where parents will honestly say to us, I need your help. What can I do with them at home to help them be more successful? So it is very important to have a good relationship with the parents.
Ms. Stagg will go on to compete against teachers from other counties in the Maryland Teacher of the Year contest. That distinction will be awarded at a gala on October the 5th, 2012. However, it's clear that Ms. Stagg will represent Prince George's County well. Image consultant Marva Goldsmith is a well-known authority on personal branding. She's written a book called Rebranding Yourself After Age 50. Marva is convinced that branding principles can apply at any age. Therefore, we can use them in the back-to-school context to make sure that we reach our goals.
Most people are branded unconsciously. When I work with people, I help them to think of their brand in an intentional way. And so when it's unconscious, it's just who you are. And that's okay. That's fine. That's authentic. But if you have a goal to do something different, and we can talk about the career marketplace in this aspect, but if you have a goal to do something different, then you want to create an intentional understanding of who you are in the marketplace. We start to develop our brands very early, in elementary school even.
What do you mean?
Well, if you think back to some of the kids in your elementary class, that's hard for me because it's been a while. But, there's the smart kid, there's the funny kid, there's the class clown, so those are brand labels. And a lot of times those brand labels will start to affect how the child thinks about themselves. So that's a good thing, or it could be a bad thing. If you're seen as the one who's always selected last in class for a gym class, right? You start to feel like you're not a part of the team. And so that might have an impact on how you become a team player later on in life. You know, I was branded as one of the smart kids early on, and so I always had to live up to that. So sometimes it's really helpful because for kids, they're living up to a brand. And so if the expectation, because remember, branding is a promise of an experience. And so people who are following your brand have a specific expectation of who you are. And so if the expectation is you're the smart kid, then you're going to do what it takes to be the smart kid. If the expectation is you're the troublemaker, you know, then you're going to do what it takes to be the troublemaker. So with children, using branding principles, you know, it has to be taught, okay? And so you almost want to teach children to think about their goals and then to create, you know, a strategy. Now, we wouldn't call it a strategy for children.
What we call it?
But I don't know. We'd probably do something like have them do like little pictures or something pictorial, or an assignment that makes it fun, you know, so that they are drawing their future. What is it that you want to be? So they draw the future. And then there might be a question, how do you get there? Okay, and so then you start to identify, these are the 5 things I need to do to get there. And maybe that's you using some construction paper or something that makes it fun, or you're cutting out pictures, you know. And then, so what do I do? And here's the key. What do you do next week so that you start to move towards this goal? And that's what not only children can utilize, but that's what adults miss. They'll have a goal for themselves, and they might identify those strategies. But unless you are saying, okay, this week, these are the 5 things I need to do to start to move towards this goal.
And now, if there were one thing that you could tell other parents who are getting ready for school, what would it be?
Get excited. Monday is around the corner. The kids will be in school, and your lives will be a lot easier.
You know, keep in touch. I think that, you know, parents should, you know, reach out to their children. Not often. They need to be independent, but I think it's important that you reach out, let them know that you're thinking about them, not hovering over them or shadowing them, but just reaching out to them, making sure that they're doing okay.
Well, my best piece of advice for parents is to remind them that they really are their child's first teacher and their best advocate. So we really want parents to be knowledgeable about the process. We want them to come into the meetings and feel that they can be open and honest with us, that there's no harm in asking questions and even offering suggestions about what they think would be best for their students. Because after all, they know them very well, sometimes better than we do also.
And what about advice for the students?
Believe in yourself. You're going to go through some trials. There are no excuses in life. Everybody has problems, everybody has struggles, but don't allow your past to be your struggle, but allow it to be your testimony to push yourself forward into the things that you know you want to do.
Keep your eyes on the prize. Understand that it is important that you come with the right attitude to learn every day, and that understand that the self-respect that's required to be successful means that you need to remove yourself from negative experiences and negative situations so that you can focus on becoming that stellar student that we know that you're capable of being.
If you go back to school, I say recognize it as a blessing, because everybody doesn't have that opportunity, and don't waste it. You know, make sure that you learn as much as you can, but don't just be a sponge. Be a sponge, but also recognize that others can learn from you as well. So be willing to give as much as you take.